यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम राम हरे
जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा
जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा
जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम
जय कृष्ण बलराम Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan Dham.
Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Samstapaka Acharya Savior of the whole world Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hariva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottama Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2. Srila Prabhupada has given a title for each of the cantos also. Why? Because there are 10 topics in the Bhagavatam. So each canto is given a title corresponding to one of the topics of the Bhagavatam. So the second canto is entitled The Cosmic Manifestation. The second topic described in the 10 topics, list of 10 topics. Visarga, secondary creation. So this is the secondary creation, the cosmic manifestation. So we are discussing from the 4th chapter of the second canto. The 4th chapter is entitled The Process of Creation. Text number 14. Namo Namaste Astu Rishabhaya Satvatam Namo Namaste Stvrishabhaya Satvata Vidura Kasthaya Moho Kuyoginam Vidura Kasthaya Moho Kuyoginam Nirasta Samya Atishayena Radhasa Nirasta Samyatishayena Radhasa Swadhamani Brahmani Ramsyate Namaha Swadhamani Brahmani Ramsyate Namaha Namo Namaste Strishabhaya Satvata Vidura Kasthaya Mohokko Yogina Nirasta Samyatishayena Radhasa Swadhamani Brahmani Ramsyate Namaha. नमो नमस्तेस्तु ऋषभाय सात्वतां
विदूरकाष्ठाय मुहुः कुयोगिनाम्
विदूरकाष्ठाय मुहुः
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंस्यते नमः।
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंस्यते नमः।
नमो नमस्ते सुवृषभाय सात्वताम्
नमो नमस्तेस्तु ऋषभाय सात्वतां
विधूरकाष्ठाय मुहुक्कुयोगिनाम्
विदूरकाष्ठाय मुहुः
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंस्यते नमः।
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंस्यते नमः।
नमो नमस्ते स्वर्षभाय सात्वताम्
नमो नमस्तेस्तु ऋषभाय सात्वतां
विदूरकाष्ठाय मुहुकुयोगिनाम्
विदूरकाष्ठाय मुहुः
निरस्तसंयातिशयेन राधसा
निरस्तसाम्यातिशयेन राधसा
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंस्यते नमः।
स्वधामनि ब्रह्मणि रंस्यते नमः। नमः नमः ते। Let me offer my obeisances unto you, astu our Rishabhaya, unto the great associate Satwatam of the members of the Yadu dynasty, Vidura Kashtaya, one who is far from mundane wranglers, Moho, always, Kuyoginam, of the non-devotees, Nirasta, vanquished, Samya, equal status, Atishayena, by greatness, Radhasa, by opulence, Swadhamani, in his own abode, Brahmani, in the spiritual sky, Ramsyate, enjoys, Namaha, I do bow down. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto He who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty and who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds, yet He enjoys His own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to Him because His transcendental opulence is immeasurable. Please repeat this translation after me. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto He who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty and who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds, yet He enjoys His own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to Him because His transcendental opulence is immeasurable. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are two sides of the transcendental manifestations of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. For the pure devotees, He is the constant companion, as in the case of His becoming one of the family members of the Yadu dynasty, or His becoming the friend of Arjuna, or His becoming the associate neighbor of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, as the son of Nanda Yashoda, the friend of Sudama, Sridama and Madhumangala, or the lover of the damsels of Rajabhumi, etc. That is part of his personal features. And by his impersonal feature, he expands the rays of the Brahma Jyoti, which is limitless and all pervasive. Part of this all pervasive Brahma Jyoti, which is compared to the sun rays, is covered by the darkness of Mahatattva. And this insignificant part is known as the material world. In this material world, there are innumerable universes like the one we can experience. And in each of them, there are hundreds of thousands of planets like the one we are inhabiting. The mundaners are more or less captivated by the unlimited expansion of the rays of the Lord. But the devotees are concerned more with his personal form, from which everything is emanating. Janmadi asya yataha. As the sun rays are concentrated on the sun disk, the Brahma Jyoti is concentrated in Goloka Vrindavana, the topmost spiritual planet in the spiritual sky. The immeasurable spiritual sky is full of spiritual planets named Vaikunthas, far beyond the material sky. The mundaners have insufficient information of even the mundane sky. So what can they think of this spiritual sky? Therefore, the mundaners are always far, far away from him. Even if in the future they are able to manufacture some machine whose speed may be accelerated to the velocity of the wind or mind, the mundaners will still be unable to imagine reaching the planets in the spiritual sky. So, the Lord and his residential abode will always remain a myth or a mysterious problem. But for the devotees, the Lord will always be available as an associate. In the spiritual sky, his opulence is immeasurable. The Lord resides in all the spiritual planets, the innumerable Vaikuntha planets. The Lord resides in all the spiritual planets, the innumerable Vaikuntha planets, by expanding his plenary portions along with his liberated devotee associates. But the impersonalists who want to merge into the existence of the Lord are allowed to merge as one of the spiritual sparks of the Brahma Jyoti. They have no qualifications for becoming associates of the Lord, either in the Vaikuntha planets or in the supreme planet Goloka Vrindavana, described in the Bhagavad Gita as Madhama, and here in this verse as the Swadhama of the Lord. This Madhama or Swadhama is described in the Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, 6th verse as follows. Na tad bhasayate suryo, na shashanko na pavakaha, yad gatva na nivartante, tad dhama paramam mama. The Lord Swadhama does not require any sunlight or moonlight or electricity for illumination. That dhama or place is supreme, and whoever goes there never comes back to this material world. The Vaikuntha planets and the Goloka Vrindavana planet are all self-illuminating, and the rays scattered by those Swadhama of the Lord constitute the existence of the Brahma Jyoti. As further confirmed in the Vedas like the Mundaka Upanishad 2.2.10, Kathopanishad 2.2.15 and Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.14, Na tatra suryo bhati na chandratarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. In the Swadhama of the Lord, there is no need of sun, moon, or stars for illumination, nor is there need of electricity. So, what to speak of ignited lamps? On the other hand, it is because those planets are self-illuminating that all effulgence has become possible. And whatever there is that is dazzling is due to the reflection of that Swadharma. One who is dazzled by the effulgence of the impersonal Brahma Jyoti cannot know the personal transcendence. Therefore, in the Ishopanishad, 15th mantra, it is prayed that the Lord shift his dazzling effulgence so that the devotee can see the reality. It is spoken thus, the 15th mantra of the Ishopanishad. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihitam mukham tatvam pushan apavrunu satya dharmaya drishtaye. O Lord, you are the maintainer of everything, both material and spiritual, and everything flourishes by your mercy. Your devotional service of Bhakti Yoga is the actual principle of religion, Satya Dharma, and I am engaged in that service. So kindly protect me by showing your real face. Please therefore remove the veil of your Brahma Jyoti rays so that I can see your form of eternal bliss and knowledge. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Nirvishesha Shunyavati Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaurabhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam yat kripatamaham vande Paramananda Madhavam yat kripatamaham vande Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. These are words spoken by Shukadeva Goswami. He is offering prayers to the Supreme Lord Krishna before he begins to answer Parikshit's question concerning the process of creation. Parikshit asked a lot of questions concerning this creation. One question I'll just read, 7th verse. Kindly describe how the Supreme Lord, who is all powerful, engages his different energies and different expansions in maintaining and again winding up this phenomenal world in the sporting spirit of a player. So Shukadeva Goswami, before answering that question, he offers his prayers to the Supreme Lord, and he also helps us understand who is that Supreme Lord, or what are his characteristics. So in this prayer, Namo Namaste, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto whom? He who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty, Rishabhaya Sattvatam. Krishna, when he incarnated in this world, he appeared as one of the members of the Yadu dynasty, as the son of Vasudeva. Then Vidura Kasthaya, who is far from the mundane wranglers. Prabhupada uses this term many times. Mundane wranglers. There are some people who are expert in material logic, and they try to apply this material logic to understand what is the absolute truth or who is God. And the scriptures describe God can never be understood by any material methods, material means. Impossible. So God will remain unknown to all those who try to understand God by material methods. So especially these people who are expert in logic, argument, it sometimes looks like they can defeat anybody, including the devotees, including the spiritualists, transcendentalists. So in the Mahabharata, there's a verse that says, Tarko apratishtaha, the supreme absolute truth, Krishna, is never possible to be understood by tarka, by logic, material logic. So, for those who are expert in material logic, for them, Krishna remains unknown. He's not approachable. He's not, they can't even go anywhere close to him. None of his personal features or personal characteristics will ever be understood by them. And they are described kuyoginam. They are non-devotees. They are non-devotees. Yogi, Prabhupada translates sometimes in the Bhagavad Gita as a devotee. So here, kuyogina means non-devotees. Nirastha samyati shayena radhasa. So, the Supreme Lord always unknowable by these mundane wranglers, by the non-devotees. So here Shukadeva Goswami says, Nirasta is vanquished. Sorry, the mundane wranglers are vanquished to understand or know the Supreme Lord. They can never be successful in realizing or seeing or understanding the Supreme Lord. And he is described as the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds. That is his position. He is the Supreme Lord of everything in existence, both the material and spiritual worlds. And he is the supreme enjoyer. Everything is meant for his enjoyment. Everything in the creation, material creation, and everything in the spiritual world. So he's called the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds. Yet, he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. Even though he has all the material and the spiritual worlds, his God is exclusive planet in the spiritual sky. And that's called Goloka Vrindavana. So he enjoys not only in the material and spiritual worlds, the innumerable planets in the material world and innumerable planets in the spiritual world, but he also exclusively enjoys in his own abode in the spiritual sky, Goloka Vrindavan. Then he says, there is no one equal to him. There's no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable. Atishayena radhasa. Atishayena. His opulence is immeasurable, unlimited. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that Krishna has two sides of his transcendental manifestations. For the pure devotees, he is the constant companion. He is the constant companion for the pure devotees. And his pure devotees are situated in different types of relationships, loving relationships with him. That's because every living being, every individual living entity is very, very unique. Is a unique personality. So accordingly, each one of the living beings has got a very specific relationship of love, intimate relationship of love with the Supreme Lord. Just like simple example you can take. Formerly at least, it was very prominent in the joint family system. There's the head of the entire joint family. Now he has got so many family members living with him in that joint family. So his sons, daughters, his grandsons, his nephews, his niece, and his all kinds of relatives. Now his relationship with each of them is very unique because each one is a unique personality in the family. So if in the mundane world a person can have so many different types of relationships with different people very uniquely, so what to speak of the Supreme Lord? So he has unique loving relationship with every single living being. And therefore the scriptures say, even though this material creation or material existence is an insignificant part of the entire cosmos, cosmic manifestation, still Krishna feels for the living entities in the material world who are undergoing a struggle for existence, who are always suffering. Because he is very sorry for our state of existence. Being his own intimate part and parcel, just because we have turned away from him, we are in this material world. And Krishna feels for each one of us. Because for him, everyone matters. How is that? Because he is unlimited. Just like in this world itself, Krishna as the Paramatma has entered into the heart of every living being. Why every living being? Because the scriptures describe as far as the material world is concerned, he has nothing to do with this material creation as far as the working of the material world is concerned. His energy is working for providing all the material needs, all the material necessities. His external energy, Durga Devi. So she is the maintainer, she is the one who creates, she is the one who maintains, she is the one who destroys everything in this material world. Even our birth is made possible by her arrangement. So Krishna has got his energies automatically working exactly according to his will. Srishti sthiti pralaya sadhana shakti reka chayeva yasya bhuvanani bibharti durga ichhanurupa. Exactly according to the will of Govinda, Durga conducts herself in this material creation. She is Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Sadhana. She is the instrument for creation, maintenance and destruction of the entire material creation, including the living entities, everything and everyone. So she conducts herself exactly according to the will of Govinda, simply according to his will. Similarly, in the spiritual world, Yogamaya is there. She arranges everything for his pastimes along with his devotees. She arranges everything exactly according to his will. And even the devotees in the spiritual world, exactly according to their desire to serve Krishna, Yogamaya arranges everything. So this is Krishna's internal energy. Atmamaya, Yogamaya. And this material energy is called Mahamaya, Bahiranga Maya, external energy. Gunamayi Maya, considering all these three gunas, material modes. So, Krishna doesn't have to do anything. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. He has nothing to do. Because his energies are working. Everything, doing for him. Just like Prabhupada gives the example, even in this material world, there is one big owner of a very big factory. Now, he has got his, people in the factory taking care of the whole factory. Beginning from the top managing director up to the lowest level worker, everybody is working for him, for his factory, his factory. So they are working. He doesn't have to do anything. Maybe sometimes he has to give some direction or something like that. So if in the material world, a person can have a huge factory running perfectly, everything is going on, simply according to his desire, according to his will, according to his direction. What to speak of the Supreme Lord? But even then, he is also personally involved in the spiritual world and the material world. So what is his involvement in the... Because spiritual world, Yogamaya provides everything for everyone. Material world, Mahamaya provides everything for everyone. Then what is his involvement? His involvement is in his specific loving relationship with each one of us, both in the material world and the spiritual world. Krishna demonstrates this in his Brahma Vimohana Leela. The Brahma Vimohana Leela is a very, very special pastime. Even among all the pastimes of Krishna, all of them are unique in their own way. Brahma Vimohana Leela Brahma stole the cowherd boys and the calves. And Krishna expanded himself as the cowherd boys and the calves who had been stolen and hidden by Brahma. And though there are many different reasons why Krishna performed this Leela, one of the interesting reasons is that Krishna not only reciprocates with Mother Yashoda and his father Nanda Maharaj as their beloved son, but also with all the elderly gopis and gopas, the cowherd men and the cowherd women, who all actually, it looks like they desire to actually have Krishna as their own son. It's actually not that they desire to have Krishna as their own son, they actually have Krishna as their own son. So Krishna, what he did, he became the cowherd boys and the calves. The cows in Vrindavan, all of them desire to actually directly feed Krishna their own milk, like they feed their own calves. So Krishna wants to teach us that Krishna, of course, is known to satisfy his devotees' desires. But not only his devotees' desires, he satisfies everyone's desires. Simply because he loves everyone. So, in order to satisfy their desire to have him as their son, he became their son. He became the calf of each of the cows. And Shukadeva Goswami describes to Parikshit Maharaj, Balaram, who was not aware that Krishna had expanded when Brahma had stolen the calves and the cowherd boys. Balaram was observing that after this incident happened, which Balaram did not know, and for some time he did not know this incident had happened. So he observed something very strange. That the affection of the cowherd men and the cows for their own children and the calves began to increase more and more and more and more and more. Because it is well known in Vrindavan that the cowherd men and women, even though they have affection for their own son or sons, but still they had special affection for Krishna. That was well known in Vrindavan. Everyone has special affection for Krishna, in addition to having affection for their own family members or their own relatives. Whole of Vrindavan was like that. Krishna is the center of attraction of the whole Vrindavan. Because he is most loving, most charming, most lovable, like that. Okay. Like in the material world, even though everybody has got their own, they consider their own object of love as most beautiful, still there is one, Manmatha, Madana, who is Cupid, most beautiful. Among all the males, he is the most beautiful male. Among the beautiful females in this material world, there are so many different beautiful females, but among them the Apsaras are specially beautiful. And among the Apsaras, there is one chief of the Apsaras who is most beautiful. So like that, there is relative beauty. So among this relatively beautiful different personalities, one will be the most beautiful. But still, in the case of Krishna also, when he performs his Leela in the material world, he appears as the son of Nanda and Yashoda in Vrindavan. So even though all the covered men and women, they have their affection for their own children, definitely they'll have. But still they have special attraction, affection for Krishna. And not only the covered men and women, even the cows, the birds, the monkeys, everyone in Vrindavan is, that's because Krishna, as the Supreme Lord, of whom everyone else is part and parcel, has a specific intimate relationship with everyone. And therefore, it's natural that even though they may have affection or love for others, so-called own family members or whatever, they definitely have a very intimate and most and the greatest love for Krishna. That is because Krishna is the only unlimited personality. All others are limited. Everyone else is limited. Only Krishna is the unlimited personality. So therefore, the degree of love or the degree of intimacy between Krishna and everyone else is the greatest. Actually, we cannot become unlimited, but whatever love we may have for Krishna, it will keep on increasing without limit. Even though we are limited, but our love keeps on increasing. That's because every interaction we have with Krishna, because that's in the liberated state as devotees in the spiritual world, our love for Krishna, we express our love for Krishna by serving him lovingly. Krishna reciprocates by giving his love. That's the exchange that happens. That's called bhakti. Krishna gives his love. But we can give only very little because we are very tiny. But Krishna is unlimited. So he gives unlimited love. That's why the experience of transcendental bliss in our exchange with Krishna, what is the kind of experience? That's described. Anandambudhi Vardhanam. It's like, and Krishna, the love he gives is because it's unlimited. The experience of pleasure is like an ocean of pleasure. Ananda Sagara. And it is not like a material ocean. Material ocean, even though there is huge quantity of water in the ocean, but still it's limited. It's limited. The experience of the ocean of happiness is like an unlimited ocean. Unlimited ocean. And the devotees, they are drowned in that unlimited ocean of bliss in every interaction with Krishna. So now you can understand what Krishna feels when some foolish living entities like all of us here in this material world, we turn away from Krishna just because we want to take Krishna's position, or we are envious of Krishna. Why should Krishna be the only Lord? I want to become the Lord. Or why should Krishna be the only independent enjoyer? I want to be the independent enjoyer. Like that. So, in the there is a scripture written by Jagadananda Pandit, Prema Vivarta. And that's not a very big book, it's a small book. In that, Jagadananda Pandit says, there are two primary reasons why we are in the material world. And this is very important. The first primary reason why we are in the material world is because we desire independent enjoyment. Now, in the spiritual world, Krishna is the only independent enjoyer. Everybody else is dependent. That's their constitutional position. So even though all the devotees in the spiritual world have unlimited bliss, unlimited enjoyment, because Krishna is unlimited. But still, when somebody desires independent enjoyment, that is not available in the spiritual world. For their sake, Krishna creates the material world, where under the influence of the external energy, illusory energy, under illusion we can think, I am the independent enjoyer. And the second reason why we are here in the material world is our desire to lord over others. The lording tendency. So you see, everybody considers himself or herself or itself as the lord of someone or something. And obviously there are gradations in this material world. Brahma is the topmost among the lords. The topmost lord. So, this material creation is actually unnecessary as far as Krishna is concerned. But it becomes necessary because of our two specific desires. The beginning of our material existence. I want to enjoy independently and I want to lord over everything, everyone else, everything else. I want to be the Lord. Why Krishna should be the Lord? Why Krishna should be the only independent enjoyer? Why Krishna should be the only Lord? No, I want to be. So for that sake, this material world is created by Krishna and he satisfies the desires through the material energy, not directly. Spiritual world, the desires of the living entity to serve him directly, Krishna actually satisfies, personally is involved. But in the material world, even though his material energy is working, providing everything, still Krishna expands himself as Paramatma and enters the heart of every living being. Why? What's the need? Because even though the material energy is engaged in satisfying all the desires, Krishna is missing us. So Krishna can't be away from us. And because we have an intimate relation, he is very, very close to us. That's why he has entered the core of our heart. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto. He says in the Bhagavad Gita. I am seated in everyone's heart as the Paramatma. And even though so many agents are there for Krishna to conduct this material world, headed by Brahma and Shiva, so many devatas are there. But still, mattas smritir jnanam apohanam cha. He only gives us, seated in our heart, he gives us knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. He personally involves, though he doesn't have to involve. You see, on the one side, we have got this material body and material mind, and or the subtle body and gross body. So this works like a machine. Okay? So this machine is fashioned in such a way that by the account of laws of material nature, by arrangement of Krishna through Durga Devi, everything works perfectly. There's no need for Krishna to do anything to make it work. He doesn't have to do. But still, he doesn't want to be away from us. So he enters our heart. And entering our heart, he cannot be inactive. He cannot be inactive. He's always active. So if he doesn't have anything to do, how can he be active? In the spiritual world also, he doesn't have to do anything. But still, how can he be active? He's simply engaged in loving pastimes with his devotees in the spiritual world. And the devotees also have nothing to do, actually. But then they have got love for Krishna, so they want to please Krishna by serving him out of love. Both Krishna and the devotees are similarly engaged in the spiritual world. In the material world, we are engaged in our nonsensical material activities according to our material desires. To enjoy, to lord over, different things we do. And that is facilitated by Mahamaya, Durga Devi. She arranges everything for all our nonsensical things through the three gunas. But Krishna involves just so that sometime we may turn towards him. Generally, forgetfulness of Krishna, we are turned away from him in forgetfulness of Krishna. But Krishna has come here to reclaim all of us. Come back to me. And to reclaim us, he has made so many arrangements. All the arrangements he has done, some of them or many of them, we say those arrangements, we state those arrangements in a Premadhvani. See, at the end of Kirtan, there is something called Premadhvani. What is Premadhvani? Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. What is this? What do you say? Why do we say this every time at the end of Kirtan? It's called Premadhvani. It helps us understand how much Krishna loves us. And because he loves us, he has made arrangements to reclaim us, to take us back to Godhead, to his personal abode. And what is that arrangement? He has sent Prabhupada to reclaim all of us. Then all the other acharyas, not just Prabhupada alone, so many acharyas. Then Ganga Mai ki Jai, we say. The river Ganga is coming from the spiritual world. It is the water of the causal ocean, Karana Jala. And Karana Jala itself is spiritual water. Okay, spiritual water. But still, Krishna, in order to personally be involved in sending that water, he performs this Vamana Leela. He extends one of his foot to measure the upper planetary system by one step. Above the earth, all the planetary systems. And when he extends, somehow the coverings of the universe gets pierced. And then when hole is created in the coverings of the universe, through which all these universes are floating in the causal ocean. Okay? So the water from the causal ocean leaks into this universe. And because he has extended his foot, so while it is entering that water, causal ocean water, it is washing the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, Vamandev. So therefore, this water of Ganga, not only it is spiritual water, it contains the dust of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. That is Ganga. So that Ganga is very special. Then what is speciality about Yamuna? Yamuna is even more special than Ganga. Ganga is the water of which contains the dust of the Lord. Spiritual water. In the beginning it is spiritual water itself. But it contains especially the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Vamandev. Okay. Now when Krishna incarnates, he performs this Leela of appearing as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And Devaki and Vasudeva, they want to protect this child, this special child. So there is anxiety. Kamsa, if he comes to know this child is born, like the first 6 children of Devaki and Vasudeva, Kamsa killed. Especially the 5 children, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, those 5 children. He killed as soon as the child was born. Mercilessly he killed them. So, Devaki and Vasudeva, they tried to protect, they could not. So they are anxious that Kamsa comes to know, he'll immediately come and grab this child and immediately try to kill the child. So they want to protect the child. So seeing their anxiety, Krishna directs Vasudeva, okay, you want to save me? You hide me in Nanda Maharaja's house. And one daughter is born to Nanda and Yashoda. You bring that child so that Kamsa will get cheated. The 8th child of Vasudeva and Devaki is actually a baby girl. Time up, yes, I'll end up. Okay. So, this arrangement by Krishna to actually satisfy the desire of Vasudeva to protect the child, hide the child. So Krishna performed this Leela. Okay. So basically what did Vasudeva do? He took the child and had to cross the Yamuna middle of the night to actually hide the child and bring back that daughter of Nanda and Yashoda to cheat Kamsa. So Kamsa will not come to know about Krishna's appearance, the male child's appearance. Okay. So Vasudeva, when he was crossing the Yamuna, the waves in that Yamuna were coming so high that sometimes the water of the Yamuna was touching the feet of that baby, small baby Krishna. So Prabhupada says, according to Jiva Goswami's explanation from some other scriptures, both the Yamuna and Ganga are actually the spiritual, water from the spiritual world. But Yamuna is several times, hundreds of times more auspicious because it not only contains the dust of the lotus feet of Vaman Dev, it specially is enriched with the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna. So therefore, Yamuna is even more special. And Krishna performed all his pastimes in Vrindavan. Only one river flows through Vrindavan, Yamuna. Punjab, 5 rivers flow. 5 of the 7 holy rivers, correct? Gange, Chamune, Chaiva, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri. Jalesmin Sannidham Kuru. But in Yamuna, the land of Vrindavan, only Yamuna flows. And Krishna sports in Yamuna. Performed so many leelas in Yamuna. So Yamuna is enriched with the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna. So therefore Yamuna is special. Like that, Krishna has made so many arrangements for reclaiming us. But he's not just satisfied with making all these arrangements for reclaiming us. He wants to be personally involved in reclaiming us. So he's entered everybody's heart. And he's giving that remembrance of him in so many ways. So many ways. So what are the ways we can remember Krishna? That is what the Vedas are describing. When the Vedas describe this material world, we think that we can't fathom what this material world is all about. What are all the different things? Therefore, there's a description in the Vedas. No, it's not just that. Of course, Vedas are telling us what this material world is all about. But more importantly, if you understand the source of this entire creation, everything in this world is Krishna, then the connection between everything and Krishna will remind you of Krishna. That's why the Ishopanishika verse, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Everything belongs to Krishna. Everything is Krishna's. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. So that connection is to remind us of Krishna. Our entire material existence is only due to forgetfulness of Krishna. So if you're reminded of Krishna, because Krishna is not an unknown person for us, originally. In our constitutional position, Krishna is not unknown to us. He is the most intimate Lord. But we have forgotten due to our nonsensical desire for independent enjoyment and lording over. So having forgotten him, Krishna tries to remind us again and again and again in so many ways. And he is waiting. Why is he in our heart? He is waiting. When are we going to turn towards him? As soon as we turn towards him, he takes so many more steps to actually bring us closer to him and take us back. So that turning towards him happens when we come in contact with the pure devotee, spiritual master, Prabhupada. That turning towards him happens. And after we turn towards Krishna, that is called Brahmande Brahmite Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. That's called the sowing of the seed of bhakti in our heart. That is done by Prabhupada. Prabhupada and Krishna both do that. Krishna is doing from within and Prabhupada is doing from without. This is also explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So both are working. Not only both, all of Krishna's agents are working. Spiritual agents are working for making us devotees. For making us turn towards Krishna and go back to him. So therefore, this whole bhakti process is that process of awakening our remembrance of Krishna and actually bringing us to the point of returning to our original consciousness, original position, of completely re-establishing our perfect relationship with Krishna. That's the whole bhakti process. And all the steps in the progression in bhakti are simply different steps to bring us closer to Krishna and involve more with Krishna in our relationship with Krishna, etc. I'll stop here. Vrintarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada